Breathe. We do this all the time, but use your breathing to find stillness. Be more careful and conscious about it. Pay attention to the rhythm. If you take short, quick breaths, try to move towards slower, deeper ones. Put your hand on your belly. You should feel it rise and expand as you draw air in, and fall as you let it out. Shoot for about 6 breaths a minute.
I have a confession to make. For years, I've been telling people stress makes you sick, but I've changed my mind about stress. I want to change yours. People who experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who also believed that stress is harmful for your health. People who experienced a lot of stress but did not view stress as harmful, they had the lowest risk of dying of anyone in the study. 182,000 Americans died prematurely from the belief that stress is bad for you. Now, if you were actually in this study, you'd probably be a little stressed out. Your heart might be pounding, you might be breathing faster. Normally, we interpret these physical changes as anxiety, but what if you viewed them instead as signs that your body was preparing you to meet this challenge? Now, that is exactly what participants were told in a study conducted at Harvard University. And participants who learned to view the stress response as helpful, well, they were less stressed out, less anxious, more confident. Their physical stress response changed. Now, in a typical stress response, your heart rate goes up and your blood vessels constrict. But in the study, when participants viewed their stress response as helpful, their blood vessels stayed relaxed like this. Their heart was still pounding, but this is a much healthier cardiovascular profile. It's a lot like what happens in moments of courage. I want to finish by telling you about one more study. This study tracked about 1,000 adults in the United States, and they started the study by asking, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? They also asked, how much time have you spent helping out friends? People who spent time caring for others showed absolutely no stress-related increase in dying, 0. When you choose to view your stress response as helpful, you create the biology of courage. And when you choose to connect with others under stress, you can create resilience.
Stress and anxiety manifest in many forms during university life. The academic pressures, social expectations, and the need to balance multiple responsibilities can be overwhelming. We see a significant number of students struggling with the variety effects of stress. It's not just about one big exam or a major project, it's the constant daily pressures that build up and lead to anxiety. Chronic stress can lead to feelings of anxiety, impacting a student's mental health, academic performance, and overall well-being.
There was a point in life that I felt I couldn't breathe, and my heart constantly racing. I didn't realize it was anxiety until I talked to a counselor.
Many students don't immediately recognize the signs of anxiety. It often takes a toll before they seek help.
I think I was overwhelmed with program, assignment, and exam. I feel like there was no room for me to escape. Balancing students' life, part-time job, and studies make me feel like stressed out all the time. Eventually, I feel like I have anxiety attacks.
Now, here are some ways on how students can cope with stress and anxiety. Watch fish swim. People with home aquariums say they feel calmer, more relaxed, and less stressed when they gaze at your fish, and science backs it up. It isn't just the water, although that alone helps. A study using a tank hundreds of times larger found that the more types of marine life that were added, the happier people got. Heart rates and blood pressures dropped too. Next, listen to music. It calms the activity in your brain. Fewer neurons fire in your amygdala, the part of your brain that responds to fear, which may lead to fewer signals sent to other parts of your brain. Music is a good thing to try if you're distracted by pain. Listen closely, not just as background. The more you notice, the less you'll dwell on your other thoughts. Another technique to cope with stress and anxiety is seeking support or help someone. Talking to friends, family, or counselors can provide emotional support and practical advice. It lights up parts of your brain that makes you feel pleasure and connection. Doing something nice for someone lowers the stress and lessens feelings of loneliness. It may even boost your heart health and immune response. A fun fact: when you spend money on other people, your body releases more endorphins than when you spend on yourself.
Learning this technique helped me to manage my anxiety. Now I feel more in control and less of anxious of my workload.
Stress and anxiety are part of the university experience, but they don't have to dominate it. By understanding the connection and adopting effective coping mechanisms, students can reclaim their well being and thrive. If you or someone you know is struggling with stress and anxiety, reach out for help. Together, we can make university life not just a time of learning, but also of personal growth and well being.